Deep within every person lies a vision that keeps them awake at night, a quiet whisper of a life that looks nothing like the one they are currently living. You might be holding onto a dream right now that feels so massive it scares you, and perhaps you've reached a point where the road has become so jagged and steep that you're starting to wonder if you misheard your own heart. I want you to look at that vision, that specific, vivid image of your future, and understand something fundamental. It is possible. It doesn't matter how many times you have been knocked into the dirt or how many doors have been slammed in your face until your hands were bruised. The disappointment you feel isn't a sign that you should stop. It is the price of admission for a life of greatness. Most people aren't willing to pay that price. They want the crown without the crushing weight of the journey. But you have to be different. You have to realize that changing the trajectory of your life is not a casual Sunday stroll. It is a grueling, uphill battle against your own habits, your own history, and the low expectations of the world around you. When you start chasing what you were truly meant to do, you are going to encounter a level of pain and failure that you didn't bargain for. There will be nights when you are staring at the ceiling, tears streaming down your face, asking whatever higher power you believe in why the path is so hard. You'll say, "I'm a good person. I'm trying to provide for my family. I'm trying to be a light for my children. So why is everything falling apart?" You need to hear this. The storms in your life didn't come to drown you. They came to wash away everything that wasn't strong enough to carry you to your destination. The rough patches are temporary, but the character you build while navigating them is permanent. Greatness isn't a lottery ticket. It isn't a gift reserved for the elite, the lucky, or the genetically gifted. Greatness is a choice. It is a fundamental reality that exists within every human being who refuses to settle for just enough. The tragedy of the average life is that most people die at 25 but aren't buried until they're 80. They stop growing. They find a comfortable spot, they build a fence around it, and they decide that this is as far as they're going to go. They stop stretching their minds, they stop pushing their bodies, and they stop demanding more from their spirits. They spend their days complaining about the weather, the economy, and their boss, yet they never take a single step toward the exit. They are paralyzed by a double-edged sword of fear. They fear failure, worrying about what people will say if they fall, and strangely, they fear success, asking themselves if they even have the stamina to maintain the dream once they catch it. They stay in the safe zone, which is actually the most dangerous place on earth because it's where dreams go to rot. If you want to break out of that cycle, you have to stop being a professional people pleaser. You have invested so much of your identity in being liked, being accepted, and being part of the crowd that you don't even know who you are anymore. You've studied the celebrities, you've memorized the lives of people on social media, and you've tried to mimic their walk and their talk. But as long as you are a copy, you can never be the masterpiece. I am challenging you to embrace the solitude, spend time alone, get to know the stranger living inside your skin. You have to be willing to prune your social circle. If you are surrounded by people who have no ambition, who thrive on gossip, and who are comfortable being stagnant, they will eventually pull you down to their level. You cannot fly with eagles if you are busy scratching with the turkeys. It is necessary to separate yourself. It is necessary to walk away from the losers of spirit, those who have given up on themselves and want you to give up too. When you finally commit to your dream, your life takes on a vibrant, electric meaning. You start to develop a uniqueness that can't be bought or faked. You become an uncommon breed. To sustain this, you must align yourself with the hungry ones, the people who are unreasonable and unstoppable. You need to be around people who refuse to accept life as it is handed to them and instead demand life as they envision it. These are the people who understand that if the goal is going to be reached, it is entirely up to them. They don't wait for a rescue party. They don't wait for a government handout or a lucky break. They go out and they make the break. They invest in their minds. They read the books that others find boring. They attend the seminars that others find too expensive. They wake up at hours that others find insane. You have to realize that someone's opinion of you is none of your business, and certainly doesn't have to become your reality. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your future. Even when you are facing a mountain of rejection, you have to have a deep-seated conviction that says, "I will do this." You have to see the victory in your mind long before it manifests in your bank account or your career. You have to be willing to stand for your vision, even if you are standing completely alone. This isn't just about making money or getting famous. It's about representing an idea. It's about being a living, breathing testimony of what is possible when a human being refuses to quit. If you want to reach that next level, whether you want to be an engineer, a doctor, a business owner, or a world-class artist, you have to stop talking and start doing. Talk is cheap. Everyone has a great idea at the bar or on the couch. But the people who actually change the world are the ones who take that terrifying first step. They invest in their mental capital. They turn off the distractions and focus on their craft. I dare you to be alone for an hour a day just to think. I dare you to become the person you were designed to be, not the person the world told you to be. When you become a true individual, you won't care if people don't like you. In fact, you'll reach a point where their disapproval doesn't even register because you are too busy ascending. You are moving toward a higher frequency. Think about the legacy you want to leave. You have the power to make your parents proud, to set a new standard for your children, and to touch the lives of millions. The world should be different because you were here. Don't let anyone steal that from you. Not a cynical friend, not a skeptical relative, and certainly not the voice of doubt in your own head. When the lights are cut off because you couldn't pay the bill, when the car is repossessed, when everyone you thought you could count on vanishes into thin air, that is when the real work begins. In those moments of absolute darkness, you look at your dream, you review it with a fiery intensity, and you say to the universe, "It is not over until I win." This journey is about the grit to keep going when no is the only answer you hear. It's about the meeting where nobody showed up, and you still gave the presentation to the empty chairs because you needed the practice for the day the room would be full. It's about the repeated failures that would break a normal person, but only serve to sharpen your resolve. You have greatness within you, but greatness requires a sacrifice. It requires you to burn the bridges to your old life so that there is no way to retreat. It requires you to be obsessed. You can live your dream. You can be the one who broke the cycle of poverty or mediocrity in your family. You can be the exception to the rule. But you have to decide, right here and right now, that you are going to invest in yourself with a ferocity that cannot be tamed. Take that first step. Not tomorrow, not when you have more money, and not when you feel ready. You will never feel ready. You just have to go. You have to jump and build your wings on the way down. Your dream is waiting for you on the other side of your fears. It's waiting for you to stop being a spectator in your own life. It's waiting for you to realize that you are the protagonist, the hero, and the master of your fate. Review your goals every single morning. Speak them into existence until they feel more real than the walls around you. Stay hungry, stay unreasonable, and never ever settle for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. The world is waiting for your contribution. Don't leave it behind. Win for yourself, win for your family, and win because you refuse to let your dream die inside of you. It is your time. It is your moment. Make it count.